somewhere, and our computer is going to send a message containing our order to that Amazon computer. The message is called the client, and the computer that is receiving the message is called the server. It has a feature that turns a computer into a server and allows it to receive messages. Popular backend programming languages are JavaScript, sometimes called Node.js, Python, and other code. So there are two tools that we use to help with this: a backend framework and a package manager. Backend framework helps us create a server much easier and with a lot less code. Each backend programming language has a few different frameworks to choose from, but the most popular ones are Express.js for JavaScript, Python, Ruby on Rails, and Java Spring. In the backend, we also use a lot of code that other people have written called packages to do common tasks like doing calculation packages in our backend. And in order to install and manage all these packages, we use something called a package manager. Each language has its own package manager. The most popular ones are npm for JavaScript, pip for Python, bundler for Ruby, and maven for Java. These are all the technologies we need to create our backend server. The next problem we have is we need somewhere to save data for our user data, like the login information, order history, as well as data for all the products that are being sold on Amazon, the descriptions, the ratings, and the reviews. To do this, we use a database. A database helps us store and manage data. It's just a piece of software that communicates with the database. The most popular databases are MySQL, Postgres, and MongoDB. Alright, so if you're just starting out, this is basically all you need for the backend. You can build most of your projects with just a server and a message containing the order to the backend. The backend then saves the order to a database and sends back created. The message that the front end sends to the backend is known as a request, and the message that the backend sends back is known as a response. This is called a request-response cycle that sends a request to the backend to get our order. The backend then gets our order from the database and sends it back to the warehouse front end, and then they go ahead and prepare our order. Look at what's inside the request. Here's a simplified example of a request to create an Amazon order. If we read over it, you can see that it's actually really easy. At the top, we have the type of the request, the domain name, and the URL path. This describes where this request is going and what type of request